want to talk about something real quick about the times that we're living in and the apostasy of the church. The Apostle Paul says in 2 Timothy 4, verse 3 and 4, "For a time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lusts shall they heap to themselves teachers, having itching ears, and they shall turn away their ears from the truth, and shall be turned unto fables." And he gives him a command prior to this third and fourth verse, saying, "Preach the word, be instant in season and out of season, reprove, rebuke, and exhort with all long suffering and doctrine." Okay? Reprove, rebuke, and exhort. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lusts shall they heap to themselves teachers, having itching ears, and they shall turn away their ears from the truth, and shall be turned unto fables. And I'm telling you that we're living in these times where people have turned their ears from the truth. They don't care about what the truth is anymore, and they've turned unto fables, onto science and science fiction and this fantasy kabuki theater, political theater that you see on the news. They've put their faith in this world instead of the truth of God's word and what God says. So this is how Jesus says it'll go down. He says, "Take heed that no man deceives you. For many shall come in my name, saying that I am the Christ, and shall deceive many. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in divers places. All these things are the beginnings of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall arise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all the nations, and then shall the end come. When you therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place, whosoever readeth, let him understand. Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house, neither let him that's in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. For then there shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So the elect will be on the earth during the time of the great tribulation. Okay? Then if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here's Christ, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. So during the tribulation, the great tribulation that lasts 3.5 years after the Antichrist is revealed, there will be false prophets which will show great signs and wonders, so much so that they would be able to deceive the very elect. We're seeing that, okay? We're about to enter into that time period where there's already false prophets on the scene who have risen up, and they're training other false prophets. Behold, I've told you before. Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, Behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. For as the lightning comes out of the east, and shines even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For wherever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. That's when this great sign of this sun being darkened and the moon turning to blood and not giving her light, and the stars falling from heaven, and the powers of heaven being shaken. That's after the immediately after the tribulation of those days. That's at the very end of the tribulation. There's going to be this great sign, and the stars will fall from heaven, and all that. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. And he goes on and on and on. Starts talking about the parables. That, chronologically, is how it happens. I don't know if y'all remember, back in August 21st of 2017, there was a total solar eclipse over the United States, dubbed as the Great American Eclipse by the media, and it was a big deal. First one in a long, long time over the United States. And as anyone out there knows, a solar eclipse over a country is deemed as a sign of judgment upon that country, according to Hebrew tradition. Anyways, just throwing that out there. So, 2017, August, there was an eclipse 30 days prior to the Revelation 12 sign, which points to the sign of the times. Now, in 2024, April, there's another eclipse. April 8th, 2024. Goes across the entire United States. The first path started up in the upper left-hand corner in Washington and ended its path in Charleston. And the two paths make an X throughout the United States, crossing over in the heart of the country. Just throwing that out there. And they are 7 years apart. Almost exactly 7 years apart. And the Revelation 12 sign is a sign of that 7-year tribulation period. Interestingly enough, Trump comes on the scene in 2017, and he will be in power for that 7-year period for both terms. And it's during his second term which he will become the Antichrist. He'll be revealed as the Antichrist whenever he goes into the temple in Jerusalem and declares himself, shows himself to be God. And Israel's already setting him up to be that, to do that. So, just throwing that out there. Just want y'all to be aware of the times. Because as I see, I must reveal to you. Otherwise, I'm not doing my job. Peace for now.